I feel there's more to this game than us playing the Bulls, obviously. I think our team is still on a journey, and this season is part of that. I think we want to roll out a product that's sustainable, regardless of the environment. And I think we will benefit of playing on the high veld now 2 games so close to the quarters and the semis and hopefully the finals, to see if the benefit of being exposed to this and having played in this environment and under this pressure, if it wouldn't suit us, in our preparation going forward. I did a lot of things. There's 2 ways. Previous one was don't talk about it, just don't say it. But the fact that when I coached the Cheetahs, I used to put up a poster that said Bloemfontein is very high, and I know now there's one posted in Loftus as well, which will tell you how high it is. So to ignore the fact, they can't really. I don't think that's the best way. Or no, we've had a good approach that we started a while ago. To look at certain things. I'm not going to mention too many of them, because if it doesn't work, everybody would say that it doesn't work, it's not the right plan. Let's have a look a little bit at what Skyrunners do and see how they handle that. But it's not our main focus, I must state that. I think I've looked at a game Glasgow played here 2 years ago, and in the 78th minute they scored a brilliant try from their own 22, which means the guys, despite the high veld, we're still able to keep the ball through phases. And I think that's the main message, is for us not to think too much about not having the energy and the equipment to play in the last part of the game, and to from the start just do as much as we can. And I do feel everybody gets tired. It's how quickly you recover that makes a difference. So that was the focus. There's obviously a big shift. They've brought in some very good players, high standard Springbok players, some of the best young talent in South Africa. They train in an environment that's second to none. I know, there's hard fields, dry ball. No training would have ever been cancelled for the cold. So it's always warm. I think the ball's always dry. You train on a hard field, which is natural speed and agility training. I know that from my time with the Cheetahs, the rapidness and quickness that comes with it naturally, just because you train on these hard pitches makes a difference. So the ball travels a little bit further. There's different aspects that you can bring to a game that is most challenging in Europe. So I definitely feel Loftus and the whole environment is a perfect place to grow and develop talent, and to execute. So therefore, to come here from the Northern Hemisphere, it's always difficult. Everybody speaks about the Southern Hemisphere teams need to adapt to the cold. I do feel that they, that for us to come here, is us being Northern Hemisphere coming in here, is maybe even more difficult if you think of what the challenges are here. But in the same, not because of the height above sea level necessarily, but the fact that these teams train in these quality conditions all year round. They play a lot of all their games in South Africa is on these surfaces, and it's nice and quick. Even as the Sharks' environment and the Stormers' field, they all train on quality pitches, and it is not challenged by the weather as the Northern Hemisphere teams are. Yeah, look, we started last year, and the idea was to establish a winning culture, play a brand that the supporters could associate with, and bring young Scottish players through to make Scotland as best as they can. And obviously, I coached from a performance director and a national head coach perspective in the club. So the idea was always to set the standard really, really high for the players to step up to the international platform when needed. So that was the objectives. We obviously last year won a lot of games, 10 in a row at some stage, and that obviously created a lot of expectations. So a lot of my off-field work this year went into managing those expectations. We have a lot of players that became available for Scottish selection, a lot of players that are picked that was involved in this with the World Cup and then with the Six Nations. This wasn't, the break that happened. Their involvement in Scottish rugby came at important periods also for us. It was just in the middle of a European Cup which I haven't played in the year before, and so there was a lot of challenges this season. trying to keep the enthusiasm and the creativity, blend in the young guys, use the squad as many of the players as possible, because it's now a renowned fact that you need more than 40 players to be competitive in both of these competitions. And if that is the dream, to be competitive in both competitions going forward, and win some silverware at the back end of that, obviously that is what all coaching programs are about. And we've seen growth, we've seen player development, we've seen established players getting more experience and applying that better even at test match level. So the competition in the squad has grown. Our young academy boys have stepped up. 4 or 5 of them has made their debut this season. There's a good platform established around the growth of the club in general. Again, it's not only about rugby, it's also the holistic growth that was important for me, and we tried to make heroes, Glasgow rugby heroes. Rangers and Celtic, the football clubs dominate the culture in Glasgow, and to bring, with the help of obviously the management, the club, my coaching group, and then obviously there's quality players, to bring a different culture to the city and a different hero to the city was important. So yes, we want to win, and I think people want to support winners, but we also have a holistic plan, also an outreach to influence more people's lives, as many people's lives as we can. Yeah, look, as much as Carl is South African, I didn't know him really. I coached and prepped games against him when he played for the Griquas, and I know of him when he played at Mati, so we really got to know him now. The club suggested that we make him captain. I was reluctant because it's another South African, and I didn't want to, just drop into the club, and having not brought anybody with me, I thought I'll lean on their expertise in that regard, and he was the perfect choice. The fact that we can share a couple of Afrikaans words now and then obviously help, but as a leader, fantastic. It is somebody that doesn't just motivate through speech or through, or he does it through actions. He played well in a lot of games when the message comes on, we need something. He was a guy that through the way he plays influence also the team around him. So I think, and he's established a good leadership group around him, people that sees the future, young guys. He's gone away from traditional type of characters in your team. He made some brave calls, and it's working for the team, and I thought he's established him well now.